5 years ago in 2018, I think I experienced what I would call my awakening. It was my aha moment. So in 2018, I was in a financial low. Everything was falling apart. So it influenced the way that I was thinking, emotionally, spiritually, just my well-being. I was at the lowest of lows, guys. When I say the lowest of lows, I used to lie on the floor and just cry and say, God, take it away. But I remember driving back from a work trip, and this must have been the defining moment for me. From a work trip in Richards Bay after a long day, and the voice in my head kept saying, you know what? Just drive into one of these trucks and end it. This will take away all this pain that you are feeling, and your kids will be sorted, right? They'll get their payout and they'll live. And guys, I can tell you that I was tired, and I was tired of being tired. And being at a financial low made me realize that I didn't know who I really was without that financial freedom. And it caused the ripple effect on my emotional well-being, on my spiritual well-being, and my mental well-being. So who was I without the financial freedom to go out with my friends and do the things that I wanted? Who was I without being able to walk in a shop and buy the things that I wanted? Who was I without being able to change my hair as often as I wanted to? Who was I without my MAC makeup? Who was I? Everything that I believed I was on the outside, and not realizing that actually everything that I needed was on the inside of me. Who was Londi? I became an angry, frustrated young woman who was constantly overwhelmed, constantly unhappy with myself, doubtful, fearful about my future, and wanting to end my own life. But then there was a very soft, small voice in the back of me that wanted more and knew that there was more to me. And this was the time that God gave me a choice. And all he said was, it's either you accept the conditions of your life as they are, or you actually take the responsibility to change them, right? And that is when I began my intentional journey of being deliberate and doing things on purpose to take care of this woman. And so I've come such a long way from that woman that I was 5 years ago. And I always say, I'm still evolving, I'm still unlearning, I'm still learning some things, kicking, screaming, crying at times still today, but continually choosing me, continually choosing Londi. Why? Because as business leaders, as corporate leaders, in all the areas that we are in, only we can change our narrative and our story, yeah? No one is coming to save you. You are the ones you've been waiting for, right? The best version of yourself can only be defined by you. So today, I just want to share some resources and tools that I used and still continue to use on my intentional journey as a business leader. And I'm going to give this conversation that we're having a very simple title. I'm going to call it Intentionally Building a Powerhouse. Now, intentionally building a powerhouse. When you are intentionally building a powerhouse, powerhouses, you need to have self-love for this personal brand that is you. And how you have self-love. Self-love we always think is about the outer, how you're looking on the inside, and perhaps what you do for yourself. And yes, it counts for something, but doing the inner work is actually doing the self-love part. I always say it's cleansing yourself from the inside, because everything flows from you. Empower yourself as a powerhouse. Build yourself up as a powerhouse. Check in with yourself in the morning. Guys, no matter how hard it is, I wake up in the morning and I say, right, what are we feeling today, Londi? And I have to be honest with myself. I have to be honest with myself so I know how to help myself. Right? It's okay to say no, sorry, I can't. It's not aligned to who I'm becoming. It's not aligned to where I'm going. I'm sorry, friend, I can't go to another party. I'm trying to save to go to a seminar because I need to empower myself. I'm sorry, friend, I just can't do drinks. I need to buy this book. I feel like it's speaking to the person that I'm building. It's okay to say no, guys, to our family members. I know it can get a little uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. But nothing grows in comfort. Knowing when to say yes or no, and not overextending yourself to a point where you sacrifice yourself. Is you forming clear boundaries, pouring into yourself before you pour into others. What does an empty cup have to pour into another cup? Nothing.
It's empty.
Yes. Pour into yourself before you pour to others. It's okay to pause. You don't have to be available for everyone, guys, and for everything. Because when do you take the time to actually just be still and pour into yourself? Everything starts in the mind. This is the devil's playground. This is where he tells you that you are not good enough. You are not worthy. What were you thinking? You are so stupid. I know that we go through those thoughts. And those are the deceits and lies of the enemy to bury you so that you can never see yourself the way that God sees you. So what we think, we become. And even the people around us see what we think about ourselves. That is the truth. So I love this quote and I love to share it. It says, watch your thoughts, for they become your words. And so I worked in corporate and government communications for just over 10 years. And all I really wanted to do was to climb this ladder of success. But then there came a time in my career where things were just falling apart. I was stagnant and frustrated because things were just not working out the way that I had imagined. And I remember going to work on a Saturday and we used to sit in an open plan and my desk was at a corner and I was sitting there and I remember the Lord's voice say, "You're going to leave this place." And for the first time I got excited because I thought that meant I'm going to get a better paying job. I'm going to get a promotion elsewhere. But little did I know that what God was referring to was me actually running my own business. So what I do today is I'm a life transformation coach, I'm a public speaker, and an empowerment event host for my own organization. It's called Intentional Living with Londi. But I want you guys to know, that's not who I am, right? Because we always think who we are is about our titles and the positions we hold and the activities we do, but that is not who we are. There's such a huge difference, guys, and it's been such a journey. But what I've come to understand about this journey that I'm on and just appreciate is that we do not always come into anything that we do by chance or by error or even by mistake. God always knows and He prepares us for where we are going. And so here I am today on this intentional journey of just becoming the best version of myself as a business leader. So with women who build you up, a community of women that see you for who you are, not what you have. And be mindful of how you spend your time. Guys, nobody can pay us back for our time. Limiting our use of social media is actually self-love. Limiting just the amount of time you are scrolling, guys, is a form of self-love. Knowing what you need to do with your time so that you empower yourself is a form of self-love. Who are you following on social media? If you are on social media, what are you learning from them? Yes, every month I take some time, I look at my social media and I say, oh man, what am I learning from this? Delete. What can I add that can build me up? Oh yes, I can add this. Delete, delete, delete. Where you need those businesses is in itself depleting. It's none of your business. Worry about what's going on in your life and how you can build yourself up.
Yeah.
Amen.
What makes you happy? What makes you sad? And being genuinely honest with yourself about the things that make you happy, so that you can draw more to those. And what makes you sad, and avoiding those. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? So you can play on your strengths and you can learn from your weaknesses. What are the areas of growth that you still need to work